everybody, welcome back to, in the meantime already, mission 5 of our Bismarck Solitaire Campaign, the Tabletop Simulator edition. And in the meantime I have already set up mission number 5. The 5th mission we are going to do in this video. I have set the victory points that we ended with in the last mission to 14. We also already earned 2 medals, and for this we earned our first bonus, which is the Repair at Sea bonus, and this bonus I have put over here so I don't forget it. And I already set up the German ship status board. As you can see here, this is how we ended the last mission, with the Bismarck having a damage of 6, and then the strength of the Lutzow was reduced to 3, and also the U-boat, he had 2 opportunities to sink the Ark Royal, but unfortunately he missed them both, and in that process he also suffered 2 hits. Also on the board here we are still in with the fleet in the port of Brest. This is where we ended the mission. The Prince Eugen was in port the whole time, the previous mission, so he is again up to full strength. So this is one of the options that you can have if you have, for instance, a lot of damage in the British fleet from the previous mission. Just to give an example, and you don't have too much damage with the Bismarck, but a lot of damage with the Lutzow. You could choose to just repair the damage on the Bismarck, which will then also be applied on the British fleet. And then instead of repairing this one, because this would also be applied on the British fleet, you just replace the Lutzow with the Prince Eugen, who would be fully repaired without having to do repairs during this turn. So that would be a possibility that you could use, but we are in a different situation. We actually, in the previous turn, there was no British ships that were damaged in the previous mission. I'm going to put it back here to 6 and to 3, how we ended it. But I didn't set up yet the British ship status board, because now we are in a new situation. So this British ship status board is used for missions 1 to 4, and now we are in the situation where we have mission 5. So we actually have now to click on the setup mission on the green button. And this is what we're going to do, because we are getting another ship status board, as you can see. And here of course we also have to apply the damage and also the ships that was sunk in previous missions on this board. As you can see, we have a lot of new ships also. Some of them were already used in the previous mission, like the Duke of York, the Dorset, Sire and the Nelson, but a number of them are new. But we also have some ships which are part of the battle line, which will replace some, could replace some ships that were sunk, but this time we have to take into account that we already had a number of these ships that were already sunk, and this we have to mark. So the Hood was already sunk during one of the previous missions, so this one cannot be used anymore. The Rodney, that one was still alive. The Prince of Wales was sunk, so that one can also not be used anymore. And then we also had, if we look at our notes, we also had the Ramillis that was sunk, but that is, as you can see, that one does not appear anymore here on the British ship status board, so you don't have to take it into account. Okay, So that is the situation that we can start with. And first we look at the mission orders, if there is something special about the repair of our German ships. So we have the orders to engage and attack all enemy ships. Priority is on the convoys. Remember that at the end of mission 7 our overall performance will be evaluated again. It was already evaluated previous mission, but by then we should have at least earned 25 victory points, otherwise we will be relieved of command. So this we have to keep in mind. The primary objective is to return the Bismarck to Bergen or Brest after turn 16, so nothing special there. And a secondary objective to earn the medal is to sink at least 2 convoys. So that is the task. So again, we can now repair. We will repair the Bismarck, because that one always have to be part of the fleet. From 6 to 11, that's repair with 5. Lützow is a repair with 4 up to 7. And the U-boat only 2. There were no ships damaged, so there's no impact on the Royal Navy. And then we can again refuel all our battleships and also the U-boat. And now we are back at full strength and ready to leave port again. This time we are have to hunt for convoys, and we see that this is the first time that we also have 2 events where we have convoys, so there are more convoys to hunt now, or more possibilities. So we have this area here more in the northwest, and then this area over here. So our plan is to try to get, probably best position is to get to D1 in this scenario, in this mission. This was how we ended it the last mission. So, but again, the U-boat, as we can see on the player rate, can start in columns 1 to 4. So this one we can already maybe put somewhere at delta 3. I think it's quite safe spot. Let's put them in delta 3. And then of course we also have our fleet. We ended our fleet in Brest, so we have to start in this grid. So let's of course we did not take out the Ark Royal the last mission. If we would have done that, then the Ark Royal would not be operating here anymore. But unfortunately we didn't manage that, so we have to take it into account. So maybe again going more via the south, but this of course means that it will take longer to get to delta 1 over here. But that's the plan. That's the plan that we are going to execute. We are going to be a bit careful to get there. And we will use the Lützow, because the Lützow is a bit stronger than the Prince Eugen, and there was no strategic or tactical advantage using the Prince Eugen in this mission. Okay, I think we are ready. We are ready for mission number 5. And we are going to already put the boat event dice in the dice roll area. And again, the same procedure, turn sequence, starting with the roll of the event dice, then look if there is air attacks, if there are any air attacks, if there is a possibility for a U-boat attack, ship combat, then move our ships, and in the end move the marker. In the meantime, I also made a small change. So in the scripting, that's being the advantage of the developer of the mod. The Prince Eugen, when it's on the board, previously was also mentioned in the speed messaging here in the chat window. This time it will not be, if he's not part of the fleet, he will not be mentioned. So another small improvement. Okay, let's start the first event. There we go. First turn. We have a white 5 and a black 6. And this is the official start of the mission. We can see it here, start of turn number 1. Oop. A white 5 and a black 6. And this is already a lone warship. Always a good habit to look at the U-boat first, Delta 3. So he is in the area of the Revenge. But he is going to lay low and not going to attack. But we have our fleet in Gulf 7. And Gulf 7, this is the area where the Duke of York is operational. And now we made a good identification, because in the previous mission I made a mistake. We also had a fight with the Duke of York, which is the one over here. But I misidentified it as the King George V. But fortunately, the Duke of York is also of the King George V class, so has the same strength up to 9, has the same firepower as the King George V, so it did not alter the mission play, luckily. And also there was another small mistake I made, but that also had no impact on the gameplay. That was, if you are in a fight with a ship and a convoy, and you have to make a escape or remain decision, you also have to add the strength of the convoy also to make that decision, and the strength of the convoy is only 1. But this is also something that is easily forgotten, but also that did not impact the result of the previous mission. But now we have to be a bit more careful we don't make such kind of mistakes again. So we have the Duke of York. There is a small asterisk here. If sunk, replaced with the ship of the battle line. If the Duke of York would have been sunk in the previous mission, he would be replaced with the ship of the battle line, and then you have to go from left to right. So the first ship would have been the Hood, but this one was also already sunk, so it would have been the Rodney. But this is not the case, because the Duke of York is still alive and well, and we have now a battle on our hands immediately coming out of port between our surface fleet and the HMS Duke of York. And as usual, the German fleet starts first. And okay, the Bismarck will be the first one to open fire. As usual, we can use one of the ship battle tactics. As we still have a long way to go, I'm going to use the long range tactic. Let me take, although it's a quite strong ship, nevertheless. So I will roll for the long range tactic, and we have a 1. I think that's quite good. That means remove 1 die of your ship's firepower, but ignore the first hit on your ship in this battle round. And this is reminded by putting this token over here next to the Bismarck, that we can ignore the first hit on our ship. The penalty for this tactic is that we only have 2 firepower dice instead of 3 to fire at the HMS Duke of York. And there we go. We are going to open fire, and we have 1 hit with the blue die and 1 miss with the red one. And that means that the Duke of York strength is going from 9 to 8. Okay. Now is the turn of the Lutzo to open fire. So he is going to open fire with firepower of 3. And there he goes. And he has a double miss. A double miss, a 4 and a 6. Because we remember that in order to have a hit, we need to have a roll of 1 to 3. A miss is a roll of 4 to 6. Okay, and now is the turn of the HMS Duke of York. He will fire with a firepower of 3. And he's the only ship, and if there is only one ship of the Royal Navy, they will always fire at the Bismarck. And he's firing now, and he has 2 hits. A blue die and a green die, so that means, because we can ignore 1 hit, that means that the Bismarck suffers 1 hit. Okay, so that's the end of the first round. Now we have the option to escape. But of course there are some nasty possibilities here. We can take hits during the escape. I'm not going to do that. And that means I'm going to remain. And now we have to take into account the British escape or remain decision. This is depending on the strength of the York, Duke of York, which is 8 compared to our combined total strength, which is 10 plus 7 is 17. So this strength is clearly below our strength, and as we know, all the British will try to escape after the first round if their total current strength does not exceed the German strength. So he's going to roll to escape. And as we have seen over there, he will escape with a roll of 1 to 3. And on a roll of 4 to 6, he has to stay for another round of battle. There we go. And he has a 3. And that means that the Duke of York has escaped successfully. And that ends the battle. So already a ship battle during the first event. But the damage was not too heavy. Okay, and now we are going to the move our ship's turn, because all the previous steps were finished or did not apply. We also have this repair mark, so now we could use this repair marker to make repairs on the Bismarck, because we can use this to make repairs on any of our ships, even the U-boat, also including the U-boat. And we can repair at sea with 1, and then this marker is spent. But for the moment, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to see where it will be needed the most, maybe in a later turn. So I'm going to keep it for the moment and see how everything turns out. And now we have to move, and yeah, we are going to move as quickly as possible, I would say, to our destination. So we made 3 moves, and that means the Bismarck has to spend 1 fuel. And maybe we are a bit in that zone over there. Airworthiness, maybe. I will separate them now if there is an air attack. But that means that the Lutzo also have to spend 1 fuel. Okay, so the U-boat stays where it is. And this is our move. And now we can go to turn number 2. And we have to roll again the event dice. And this time, for turn number 2, we have a white 1 and a black 3. A white 1 and a black 3. This is the rough weather event. This can be very nasty, especially if you want to get back to port in time, because this will reduce the speed of all our surface ships, but this is not applicable on our location, and it's also not applicable on the U-boats, so no impact. And we are going to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we are again in Hotel 4, still in this area. Now we are together again, so I'm going to put this one further. So that means both of them have to spend 1 fuel. U-boat stays where it is, and we go to turn number 3. The Bismarck has moved 3 spaces, spent 1 fuel, and then the Lützow also moved 4 spaces, spending 1 fuel. And as you can see, the Prince Eugen is not mentioned anymore because it's not part of the fleet. Okay, turn number 3, start of turn number 3, what's the event? The event is a white 6 and a black 3. White 6 and a black 3, and this is the event that I was a bit looking at. The swordfish attack does not apply to the U-boat. As we know, the U-boat is also outside the zone, but we have the Lützow in Hotel 3 and the Bismarck in Hotel 4. The Lützow is over here, so it's outside the event area, but we have the Bismarck still in Hotel 4, so he will be attacked. And he is separate, so he is alone. So that means he can lose all his fuel, only the Bismarck on a roll of 1 to 3. So we have to do roll for the air attack of the swordfish attack of the swordfish airplanes, and we have a 4, and that means that the swordfish attack failed. You see, if we would have been together, then they would have succeeded, but it's a roll of 1 to 3, so that means the attack failed and the Bismarck can keep his remaining extra fuel, and there is no impact. Again, we can move, but now we are going to get more together again. So I'm going to move the Lützow only 1 space, and the Bismarck is going to catch up at normal speed for the moment. Yeah, the U-boat stays where it is, and then we go to turn number 4. Again, roll the event dice. For turn number 4, we have a white 4 and a black 3. A white 4 and a black 3. That is the Wing and a Prayer event. Wing and a Prayer, and I think we are outside this event area. Also the U-boat is not impacted by this event, and we are at Hotel 3 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so no impact from this event, and we are going to continue our voyage. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and they are together again. Now I spent another fuel, extra fuel for the Bismarck. U-boat stays where it is, and that ends our turn number 4 and is the beginning of turn number 5. And there we go, another event roll. This time a white 1 and a black 2. white 1 and a black 2. That's again the rough weather event, but we are still outside this event zone, so also no impact. And now we are going to move to Delta 1. That is our destination, and that ends our move, and we go to the next turn. Start of turn number 6. Let's this time do a manual roll, and we have a white 2 and a black 6, a white 2 and a black 6, battleship sighted. We are with the U-boat in Delta 3. This is in the area of the Royal Oak and the Royal Sovereign. They are very strong ships. Royal Sovereign, Royal Oak. So the U-boat is going to keep low profile, but we are with the fleet in Gulf 1. Gulf 1 is over here, that is in the area of the Roberts and the Warspite. So we have a ship combat on our hands between the Roberts and the Warspite. I'm going to indicate them. The Roberts is over here and the Warspite, and of course our surface fleet consisting of the Bismarck and the heavy cruiser the Lutzow. Okay, and as usual we are again the first one to open fire, but this time the Royal Navy is with 2 ships, and that means that the one with the highest firepower will fire at the Bismarck, and the one with the lowest firepower, the second highest firepower, as the rules say, will fire at the Lutzow. Both of them have, the Roberts is the weakest one, so we are going to focus our attention on the Roberts. And this time, opening fire with the Bismarck, I'm going to try to close in, going to be a bit more aggressive, and do a roll for that. And here we go. And we have a 5, almost a 6. We receive 1 hit, but add 1 die to our ship's firepower. So we receive an additional hit, but now we can use 4 dice to fire at HMS Roberts with the Bismarck. There we go. And we have a quite good result. We have 3 hits, red, green and black, and 1 miss. So that means that the Roberts suffers 3 hits, 1, 2, 3. So his strength is going down to 3. And now we still have the Lutzow, and he is also going to close in. Trying to close in, so a roll for that ship battle tactic, and he has a 3. And that means the same, I think. Yeah, receive 1 hit and add 1 die to the ship's firepower. So receives 1 hit and add 1 die. So instead of 2 firepower of 2, we're going to roll with 3 dice, firing at HMS Roberts, and there we go. And not too bad. He has 2 hits and 1 miss, but unfortunately not enough to sink the Roberts. Our Roberts is still in business. And now is the turn of the Royal Navy. The Warspite with a firepower of 3 will fire at the Bismarck. And there he goes with his roll, and there's only 1 hit. That's quite good, not too bad. Bismarck suffers 1 hit. And now the Roberts is going to open fire, but not on the Bismarck, on the Lutzow, and he has a firepower of 2, as we can see. So that means that only 2 dice are used, and he is opening fire on the Lucho, and he also has 1 hit with the red die. So another loss of 1 strength. Okay, and now we have to decide if we're going to escape or not. I'm choosing to remain. Maybe we can finish the robots, because again, remember, we need victory points also to achieve sufficient victory points at mission number 7, where we will be evaluated. So we are going to continue, but the Royal Navy has a strength, a total strength, combined strength of 7 plus 1 is 8, and we have 8 plus 5 is 13. So they do not exceed our total strength. So they will not stay in combat, they will try to escape. And for that they have to roll with 1 die, just as the Duke of York did. And that die will decide if they are going to have a successful escape or not, and they did not manage to escape. So that means that we have another round of combat. And this time I'm going to start with the Lutzow firing at the HMS Roberts. Germans can open fire first. And he is going to fire with his normal firepower of 2. And let's see what the result is. He has a double miss. Unbelievable, a double miss. That is unfortunate. That means that the Bismarck will have to try to finish the job. He will use his 3 firepower. He will be fired back. Could we use some long range tactic? Maybe I will use the long range tactic, because we are still early in the mission. Because the Warspite will fire at the Bismarck, and has a 4, that's not so good. 4, remove 1 die of our ship's firepower. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So we don't have a token. We don't get a token to ignore 1 hit, but we have still 2 firepower to fire at HMS Roberts. And there we go. There should be 1 hit, and luckily there is 1 hit, and that means that the HMS Roberts has sunk just in the nick of time. That means that we now have earned another 2 victory points. But the battle is not finished yet, because the HMS Warspite is going to fire at the Bismarck using his full 3 firepower. And there he goes. And not too bad for us. A 3, so 1 hit on the Bismarck, going from a strength from 8 to 7. And again we have to make the decision now, are we going to escape? I think maybe we should try to escape, because still have some way ahead of us. So I'm going to roll to try to escape. And there we go, and we have a 2. And that means escape and avoid battle with a roll of 1 or 2. So that means we did a successful escape. And this ends the ship combat. And all in all, not too bad, although we suffered some damage. Okay, we put the event dice back. That ends our ship combat phase. Now we have to move our ships again, and hopefully we will get this event again, so we can repair some ship damage. We could use already now the repair marker. Still I'm going to wait a bit to see if we get into dire straits. So we're going to move up north towards D1, and the U-boat stays in place. And we're going to the next turn. Okay, let's roll for the next event. And we have a white 1 and a black 1. And again we have the stormy weather event. But this time are we inside? We are in Foxtrot 1. No, we're still outside. So that means that we can still move 2 spaces. Because for the rest there's no effect. This event also has no effect on the U-boat. Because it only mentions ships and the U-boat is not explicitly mentioned. And that means that we are moving now to Echo 1. So we are ready now, getting over here closer to our Delta 1 area. And we go to the next turn. You see, very easy game in fact to play, but if you are unfortunate you can quickly suffer defeat. Here we have a white 4 and a black 3 for the event of turn 8. Black 4, white 3. What do I say? White 4, black 3. Of course, white 4, black 3. And again, the event Wing and a Prayer. Torpedo damages engines if we would be in this area, but we avoided that area. And Luftwaffe protection. That's completely out of the zone, so no impact. And now we finally reach our destination, Delta 1. And notice that until now there was not a single convoy event. So hopefully we will get some convoy event where we can sink some convoys. And that ends turn number 8 and we go to turn number 9. And again a roll for the next event, and that one is a white 3 and a black 5. A white 3 and a black 5. That's this event, heavy cruiser attack, under fire, coastal guns also. Heavy cruiser attack, also no impact on the U-boat, and we are outside this event with our surface fleet, Delta 1, so also no impact. And now we're going to 10. We have to see how many turns we need to get back. Yeah, we can still keep there for some time, but not long. We can also try to get back, of course, to Bergen, but that would mean that we are remaining in this zone, which can make big delays. That would be a bit risky. So turn number 10. Hopefully now we get the convoy event. White 6, black 1. I don't think so. White 6, white 6, black 1. That is not bad. This is the ship repair event. Supply ship found. We have found a supply ship. We can repair 1 hit per ship with a maximum of 3, and we have to mark the repair. So that means that we can repair the Bismarck with 1 and the Lutzow with 1. That comes in handy, but we have to mark it here on the repair track that we made 2 repairs, because we can only repair up to 3, and that's not too bad. Absolutely not too bad. Again, I'm going to stay there waiting for the convoys to appear, and that means that we are going to go to the next turn number 11. Let's maybe do a manual roll this time. And this time we have a white 4 and a black 3. A white 4 and a black 3. Ooh, again this Wing and a Prayer. No convoys to be seen. 12, 13. We really have to, we already have to take the shorter route if we want to get back. If we stay one other turn, that will be a bit risky. We still have one extra fuel. Let's take the risk. Just stay one other turn and then we head back to Brest. Okay, last chance of getting a convoy event. There we go. And if we have a strange roll like this, I always push the Alt button to see what it is. It's a white 5 and a black 6. A white 5 and a black 6. This is a lone warship event again. And this is in Delta 1. We are with the fleet and we are also with the U-boat in Delta 3. So we are actually in the zone of the Revenge. But first, now I'm going to use my U-boat to attack the Revenge and support our fleet. And he's going to roll now for his attack. Has a 5, and that's not good. As we can see here, we know that second last line, the target is hit with a roll of 1 to 3, while the U-boat is hit with a roll of 4 to 6. So that means that the U-boat is hit. Not so good. Okay, now we have the battle between the Revenge single warship, the Revenge, and both the Bismarck and the Lutzow. Fortunately, they were repaired in the previous turn. And again, as per usual, we can open fire first. HMS Revenge it's not too strong, but it has quite some firepower. Okay, the Bismarck will open fire. I will going to use my standard 3 firepower. I will not use a ship battle tactic of no. Open fire 8 on the HMS Revenge, and we have only one hit. That's one hit on the Revenge. And then the Lutzow, this one I'm going to let him close in. So I'll use that battle tactic. He has a 6. Take 2 hits but add 1 die to the ship's firepower. That's not so good. Take 2 hits. But he can now fire with 3 dice, using 3 dice on the Revenge. And hopefully he has a better result than the Bismarck, I was going to say, but it's the same result. It's also 1 hit. So that didn't go too well for us. Now the HMS Revenge is going to fire back at the Bismarck using 3 dice, firepower of 3, and he is luckier, he has 2 hits, and that means that the Bismarck strength is going down to 6. Again, we have to decide if we're going to continue the battle or try to escape, remain or escape decision. I think I'm going to stay and let the enemy decide. Their strength is 5 compared to our 6 plus 4 is 10, so they will definitely try to escape. For this we have to do 1 roll. It's a 2, and that means that the Revenge has escaped and the ship combat has ended. Okay, and now it's again the move phase. Okay, and now we are going to move back. Let's do 2 normal speed, and we keep the U-boat there in case a convoy shows up. We still have a chance to sink a convoy, and we actually need 2 to win a medal. Don't know if we will be able to manage that, but we will see. We go to the next turn number 13, and again we have to roll for the event. And the event for turn number 13 is a white 3 and a black 1. A white 3 and a black 1. Ooh. This is a carriers at war, swordfish planes that will attack, an air attack. It's not applicable on the U-boat, but we have our fleet at Echo 1. Echo 1, that's still in the area of the victorious. So we have to roll 2 air attack dice, and we have to apply hits on a roll of 4, 1 to 4, because our fleet is together. Okay, so roll 2 air attack dice. I'm going to use the colored dice. 2 air attack dice are going to be rolled for the air attack on the Bismarck and the Lutzow, and we are lucky. It's complete failure. This air attack completely failed. They rolled a 5 and a 6, so they didn't manage to hit anything with their torpedoes, so we were lucky. Put back the event dice, and that means that the air attack is finished. The U-boat, there's no impact, there's no ship combat, so we can move with our surface fleet back to Brest and go to start of turn number 14. Again, roll for the event. We have this time a white 5 and a black 1. A white 5 and a black 1. That is the force H. Starts with an air attack, but I think we are not in that area, no. Foxtrot 1, so we're outside this area, Foxtrot 1, so no impact. And again we can move to our destination. And I try to stay as long as possible in this ship repair area, because we still have one repair we could do if that event is rolled. Okay. And that ends our turn. And now we are going to roll again for the next event. We have a white 5 and a black 1. A white 5 and a black 1, that's the same event. This time we are in Gulf 2. There's no impact on the U-boat, by the way. Gulf 2. So we're still outside this zone. So no impact. And now we are going to move 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spend my last fuel for the Bismarck. Oh, sorry. So I spent my last fuel, and should we already use this repair token or wait still a bit? Yeah, I'm going to wait a bit. Or should I already use it? And on what ship should I use it? Don't want to lose the Lutzow, because then we lose 3 victory points. Of course, when using the Bismarck we lose the campaign. No, I'm going to wait another turn. There we go. Another event roll. White 1, black 5. White 1, black 5. And now, white 1, black 5, we have a convoy hunt event for the first time during this mission. And that means our U-boat is in Delta 3. It's in Delta 3. There's only one convoy in that area, no battleship, but he will take a shot at the convoy. And there he goes. Hopefully he manages to... Ah, no. It's a 6. He has another hit. Oh. That's very unfortunate. No medal, I think, for us this mission. Golf 3. We are in Golf 3. That's outside the zone. So the event zone, so we can continue our voyage. Maybe we can come into combat, so I'm going to spend this repair marker. Going to repair the Lutzow. Yeah, going to spend it on the Lutzow. And we flip it, and now you can see that this marker here, this token has been spent for this mission, and we repaired the Lutzow at sea during the movement turn, and now we can go to the next turn, so during the movement step actually. And now we are going to have the next event roll. We have a white 3 and a black 5. White 3 and a black 5. That's again the under fire event, but this has no impact on the U-boat, and we are outside the zone. Golf 4, so no impact, and we are heading back slowly but surely to Brest again. And the event started very eventful, and immediately we had a ship battle, but now it's rather quiet. And we're going for the next event, but things can change rapidly. We have a white 3 and a black 6. I think it's the same event. White 3, black 6. Yes, it's the same event. So no impact. We are in Golf 5. It's over here. So no impact. And we continue our voyage towards Brest. Turn number 19, start of turn number 19. I think this is our last event. We have a white 5 and a black 5. Oh, what did I do? And there we see the enemy of the Royal Navy looking down on us. White 5, black 5. A lone warship event again. Oh, we are here. The U-boat will not attack. He is in the zone of the Royal Oak. As far as I can see, Delta 3. No, it's actually the Revenge he's in. Could attack the Revenge, but that would be very risky because he's low on strength, so he will not do that. We are here with the fleet in Golf 6. Golf 6. Let me see, Golf 6 is in the red zone, and that is in the area of the Duke of York. The Duke of York again, where it has suffered 1 damage. Again we have a ship combat phase between the Duke of York. There's when we started the mission, we already had combat with the Duke of York, and he's there again. Luckily we are together, and as usual the German fleet can open fire first. Would be good if we could sink it, or should I? It's a bit risky if we take 2 hits or roll a 6. Maybe I will roll to keep distance, long range. Or should I use my full firepower in this? No, I'm not going to use a set battle tactic. I'm going to be a bit more aggressive. Roll with my 3 dice. And we have 3 misses. Unbelievable. 3 misses. Bismarck misses the Duke of York. Now is the turn of the Lutzow. We are going to have him close in. Do a roll. And he has a 3. And that receive 1 hit, but 1 die, extra die firepower. So the Lutzow takes 1 hit. But 1 extra die for the firepower. Firing at the HMS Duke of York. Hopefully he does better and does a little bit better. Has 1 hit on the Duke of York. So that was not very successful. And now is the HMS Duke of York who will fire back at the Bismarck. And there he goes. And he has also a miss, a complete miss. And that ends the first round. And again we have to decide on remain or escape. We are going to remain. But the Duke of York has a strength of 7, which is lower than 6 plus 4 is 10. So he will try to escape. I'll roll again. There's a 5, has to stay into combat. Okay, that means that the Bismarck will open fire again. Again using our 3 dice. And now we do better. We have 2 hits. And the strength is going down to 5 for the Duke of York. The Lutzow is going to fire with 2 dice. His normal firepower. And he has a double miss. They are not very effective today. Duke of York is going to fire back at the Bismarck with a firepower of 3. There he goes. And he has 2 hits. So the Bismarck is going down to the strength of 4. And again now we have to decide if we are going to escape or not. And because this is the last event, I'm going to stay. To remain. He has a strength of 5, which is still lower than the 4 plus 4, than the 8, the combined strength we have. So he will roll again, trying to escape. And again he didn't manage to escape. That means there's another round of battle. This time I'm going again to roll. I don't want to lose my Bismarck on a long range. And he has a 1. And that means we can remove one of our ship's firepower but ignore the first hit. So that is something. And now we are going to fire with a firepower of 2 at the HMS Duke of York. And we have 1 hit. So strength goes down to 4. Yeah. Strength is now 4. The Lutzow is going to fire with his normal firepower, so 2 firing at the Duke of York, and he has also 1 hit. So the Duke of York is quite badly damaged, but still operational, firing back with 3 firepower of 3, firing at the Bismarck, and he has 2 hits. And fortunately we can ignore 1 hit and we take another hit. And now the question is, should we remain or escape? No, we are going to remain. Maybe we can finish off the Duke of York if he fails to escape. So the Duke of York has a strength of 3, which is lower than our 7 combined strength. So again he will try to escape. And there is his roll. And he has a 1, and that means that finally he manages to escape. He's badly damaged, but this ends the ship combat. But we also suffered quite some damage, I must say. Okay, that's the end of the ship combat step. And now we have to move our ships again. And we are going to move into port with the Bismarck and also the Lutzow. And that ends the turn, beginning of turn number 20, but the game detected that the Bismarck has arrived in Brest and that the mission is finished. All in all, we did not accomplish a lot. We have quite some damage on the Duke of York, but fortunately we managed to sink one warship of the Royal Navy, which gives us 2 victory points. We can add to the 14, so we have 16 now. Unfortunately, we did not manage to sink 2 convoys, so we did not earn a medal. But this bonus here we can use again because we earned that with our second medal. So on the next mission we will have this bonus again. This is a recurrent bonus, as it is called. So we can use it from now on in every mission until the end of the campaign. Okay, and that ends the 5th mission. And I hope, as usual, I didn't make a mistake. If I would have made a mistake that I didn't notice, you can always leave a comment. Always push also on the like button if you like this playthroughs. And I thank you for watching. I take some notes and also a screenshot so I can set up for the next mission, mission number 6 in our campaign. And hopefully see you then. Bye bye for now.